He thought, like so many others before him, that she was just another black woman he could intimidate, manipulate, and silence. But oh, he had no idea what was coming his way. That illusion shattered the moment she walked into that courtroom and completely obliterated his career. The highway was quiet that night, eerily so. The road stretched out ahead like a dark ribbon, slick from the recent rain. Only a few cars passed by, their headlights skimming over the glistening pavement like ghosts in the dark. Streetlights flickered above, casting long, warped shadows that danced across the asphalt like they had a secret to keep. This was the stretch of road just outside Birmingham, Alabama. And it was late, way past 11:30 p.m. That time of night when the world slows down and most people are just trying to make it home in one piece. Lieutenant Commander Amara Lewis had already been on the road for almost 2 hours. Her fingers tapped lightly against the steering wheel, keeping time with a smooth old jazz tune floating from her car's speakers. There was something calming about it, nostalgic even. She wasn't in uniform tonight. Just a simple black sweater, jeans, her hair pulled back in a no-nonsense bun. To anyone passing by, she looked like just another tired woman trying to make it home. At least, that's what she believed. Quick pause before we dive deeper into the story. Speech balloon. If you're enjoying this and want more powerful stories like it, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support? It means everything. Thank you. Folded hands. Then it happened. Those lights, red and blue, blinking violently in her rear-view mirror, closing in fast. Her stomach tensed, not because she was scared, but because she already knew how this played out. It was exhaustion. The weight of too many headlines. Too many names. Too many outcomes that never should have happened. Still, she stayed calm. Signaled right. Changed lanes. Eased her car to a stop on the shoulder with smooth, practiced precision. She shifted into park, took a slow breath in, then out, and rested both hands visibly on the wheel. She'd been in the military long enough to know how this went. Exactly how to play it safe. The white patrol car that pulled up behind her didn't move right away. Neither did the man inside it. When he finally stepped out, he did it like a man who believed the road belonged to him. The kind of walk that screamed power trip. His boots scraped against the pavement. One hand rested lazily on his belt. The other held a flashlight, already lit, already aimed. She caught a glimpse of him in the side mirror. His face came into view just enough for the badge to glint under the light. Reynolds. That was the name. License and registration, he said, cutting straight to business. No, good evening. No reason for the stop. Just cold, clipped authority. The kind that doesn't invite questions. Amara didn't flinch. She met his eyes, through the mirror, and slowly reached for the glove box, retrieving her documents with calm, precise movements. Was I speeding, officer? Her voice was steady, polite, but not submissive. Reynolds didn't respond. Not right away. He took the papers from her like they were an inconvenience, holding them just out of reach. His eyes scanned the car, like he was looking for a reason to escalate. Taillights are out, he finally muttered. She frowned. That doesn't sound right. That's when it shifted. He finally looked at her. Are you arguing with me? His voice was sharp now, eyes narrowing. A long, tense silence hung in the air. Amara knew this beat. That quiet, charged moment when two forces meet, and one expects the other to submit. She'd seen it in war zones, in classified briefings, in training rooms on bases across the globe. She could have backed down. She could have let it slide. But she also knew exactly where she stood, and what rights she had. I'm just saying, she said evenly, my taillights were checked a few weeks ago. But if there's an issue, I'll take care of it. Step out of the vehicle.
Just like that.
Like he hadn't heard a word she said. Amara's fingers flexed on the wheel. She glanced up the road. Empty. Not a single witness. She gave the steering wheel one final tap, then reached for the handle. Mind telling me why? She asked, voice cool. Reynolds tilted his head, smirking. Because I said so. That silence returned, heavier this time. She let it hang there for a beat, then calmly unbuckled her seatbelt and pushed the door open. The night air hit her face. cooler than she expected. She stood tall, her posture relaxed but alert. She wasn't there to fight, but she sure wasn't going to be intimidated either. Reynolds stepped back, eyes scanning her again, like he was recalculating, judging what kind of problem she might be. Turn around. Hands on the car. She didn't move. For what reason? He stepped closer. His smirk vanished. Are you resisting? Amara didn't budge. I'm asking a question. Something flickered in his expression. Irritation, maybe surprise. Then just like that, he reached for his radio. We've got a non-compliant driver, he muttered into the mic. Then louder. Turn around. Her heart rate picked up just a touch, but her face stayed unreadable. Officer, she began, you need to understand something. I know exactly what I'm allowed to do, and I know exactly what you can't do. Reynolds didn't like that. Not one bit. His jaw clenched. You're under arrest, he barked, lunging for her wrist. She moved instinctively, stepping back just far enough to avoid his grip. Under arrest for what? Obstructing an officer. She blew air through her nose. So that was the play. Years of training kicked in. Her breath evened out. Her mind went sharp. She had two choices now. Comply and fight it later, or resist and let it all spiral. She chose the smarter fight. With deliberate care, she turned, placed her hands flat against the cool metal of the car, gritted her teeth as Reynolds yanked her arms back too hard, slapped the cuffs on tight, too tight, and shoved her toward the back of the cruiser. You don't know what you're doing, she said under her breath. Reynolds laughed. Lady, I know exactly what I'm doing. But the truth? He didn't have a clue. She sat in the back seat, stiff, her wrists burning from the cuffs. She didn't move. She didn't speak. She just breathed. He slammed the door shut. The sound echoed in the dark. From her seat, she could see him pacing to his car, muttering into his radio again. She stared at the barrier separating her from the front seat, saw her reflection in the glass.
Calm.
Collected. But under that, something burned. This wasn't the first time she'd faced power. But this was different. This was corruption. This was a man who wore his badge like a crown, drunk on it. 10 minutes passed. Then 15. She shifted her wrists, trying to ease the pain. It was no accident. He'd cuffed her like that on purpose. Then came the jingle of keys. The door opened. He slid in, whistling like he was proud of himself. Well, he muttered. Let's take a little ride. She said nothing. The engine roared to life. The patrol car lurched back onto the road, red and blue lights painting the night in chaos. You know, he said after a while, most people just shut up when I tell them to get out of the car. She looked at him in the mirror. Exhaled. Most officers don't arrest people for asking a question during a traffic stop. That made him laugh. Lady, you must really think you're somebody.